My name is Clark Medley. I was born in St. Louis, Missouri in 1971. I've been an artist for about as long as I can remember. The very first memory I have me drawing is sitting in St. Louis at my parents' house, laying on my bed, and my dad had a poster of Boris Vallejo, of one of his big Conan the Barbarian-looking posters and stuff sitting there. And I'm sitting there and I'm just drawing it. I'm drawing it. And I remember when I got done, I showed my parents, and the look on their face was like, this kid just do this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a thing. And since that, I think back to the entire journey I've had as an artist my entire life, and that was probably the first moment where I realized that I was doing something at a higher level than people at that age did. Looking back on it, it's a realization. At the time, I just thought, oh, cool, my parents, like what I did. You're like looking for that affirmation. I guess in some weird way, every time I paint, I'm looking for that same expression on the viewer's face as I got when I was a 5-year-old kid drawing in my bedroom, looking at a poster, trying to find more of that affirmation from the public, which is now my parent. My art has quickly transcended into writing little stories of my life and becoming very personal in a lot of different ways. A great deal of this is nothing more than a deep inner psyche of either moments of my life or the things I'm going through at the time. There's periods of paintings that I did that are much darker than people see. The thoughts that I had when I did them were times where I was going through things personally, and it was a way to get it out. This is a coping mechanism, nothing more. Going back to when I was a kid, my parents were arguing, I go in my room, I draw. Life gets hard, I go in the studio and I paint. There are a lot of times that the compulsion that seems like a never-ending hunger for something more, it's probably more often than anything just an escapism. I didn't have to deal with the real world if I was in the studio. So as this language art thing that I started doing started evolving, I quickly realized that I could write anything that I wanted without anyone ever knowing what I was saying. The process of creating the letters that I've made, that I use currently, they've evolved very quickly. I was taking a trip over to visit one of my friends over at Kaohsiung in Taiwan, and it's a long flight. And I'm sitting there and I'm playing, and I'm doing something we did in school where I created the person dancing, and then I exaggerated it and to where it's almost indistinguishable, and I pulled it back together, and just trying to create drama in the piece, and just seeing, like, just playing, just a lot of hours just sitting there not doing anything, so I'm just trying to kill time. And as I'm doing these pieces and, just listening to music and making them, I thought to myself, like, this is interesting, and I started imagining almost like cavemen people, like the very first people. There was, like, imagine how powerful it is to make a mark in something and someone look at it or know what that means. It had to be like magic. It had to be an overwhelming advantage to war, to business, to all of these different things where I can write something you can read it, but nobody else can, which means I can transpose something that's in my mind to you and never say a word. And really, that's what art is. Art is making a picture of an idea. So this is the art storage. I have literally different series. Everything from the Dante Inferno series, some of the smalls, one of the big love ones. Very sculptural. It's definitely got relief to it. Got the entire Mother's Love is Never Forgotten series. And then some of the bigger ones. But yeah, there's a few hundred in here. This one's kind of interesting that the Art Deco patterning behind it is always based with the lines of thought, the geometric patterns and stuff to think of the complexity of thought. And then it's two people actually embracing, laying him down, like in bed. So the lines are much more subdued in the background, but the message is still there. This one says, "Will these dreams still follow me?" And it's kind of something we think a lot about as artists, like, is what I'm doing worthwhile, or is it, there's always some sort of self-doubt, but it's always a dream. It's always something that you're trying to press forward. You're always trying to make things pan out the way you envision or you want them to be. The overall meaning behind or execution behind my work is the denying of the surface. In tattooing, we deny the surface all the time. We have this nice, perfect skin, and then we deny it by putting pictures over it. It's all I've ever done. You have a plain piece of white paper, and now it's no longer white. You have a white canvas, now it's no longer white. We're constantly denying the surface. I still tattoo every day. I tattoo in a street shop. So what a street shop is whenever you walk into the shop, you have an idea, and then we create the idea, and we tattoo you. I've been doing that for 35 years. So it's definitely the biggest love I've had as an artist. It's provided for me and my family in ways that I can't even explain. But through all of that, it's something in me that wanted to do something more that was not for sale. I've seen artists like Picasso that he would never do a commission. He'd always do what he wanted, and I really respected that. And all I do is commissions. People walk in, they want something, I create it, tattoo them. And I wanted something that was purely done in a way that was solely me, that was solely art, and that wasn't corrupted by someone else's vision of what I was making, but it was only my vision of like what I see in my head. And whenever you take the world from the outside, goes through your eyes into your brain and comes out your hands, that's basically a filter. And you're now making something that is unique, and that really excited me. And when I started doing it, I thought to myself, like, this is powerful. This kind of keeps me going. You know what I mean? Like, because people get burnt out in tattooing. They just do. And you see people, sometimes they'll tattoo for 3 years, sometimes they'll tattoo for 10 years, sometimes they'll tattoo for 20 years, sometimes they'll tattoo until they die. But you see them get disgruntled because I think they lose that little kid creating something fun. You want to make something, you don't know what it is, you just want to make something. It gives me the opportunity to do that. And I feel very pure that I don't really enjoy selling the pieces. I truly enjoy making them. But artists almost have to sell to be relevant in the art world. It's how they are able to travel to the shows or ship the works to shows or do things. You have to have a certain amount of income to do that. And so I've been very blessed that tattooing has allowed me that comfort. So I don't have to sell my pieces to be relevant. I can show them. And that, for me, is what's exciting.
Finished already?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, how long was that? Like 30 minutes or less, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't fuck around.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
No, we're gonna...
field you're in?
Yep. LOVE.
Wow.
I've already been working on this for a while. It's the overall value of object permanence. It's the idea of just because you don't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's similar to when you get a present whenever you're a kid and it's wrapped. You know it's something good, you know it's something for you, but you don't know what it is, but you have excitement for it. There's an anticipation. A movie that ends abruptly and you don't know what happens, that's object permanence. It's like it left an indelible idea in your head, and now it's up to you, the viewer, to reimagine what it is, what it says, what's going to happen, well, what it might be. I've really delved into that more and more, where often installation art is interesting, but it's not beautiful. But once you understand the message, it's just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. So I'm really trying to get something that's plays on those ideas, where I'm creating pieces of work and then I'm denying the image. So it's just a constant, like, how do you take that next step further? How do you take that next step further? Well, at some point, you do these amazing paintings and then you put them in something. Like the Dead Sea Scrolls, you put them in a jar, you put them in a vase, and you bury them somewhere forever. With my art being message-based, I'm able to write things that nobody knows what they say, and then create them by putting them into a glass vessel, sealing them up forever to where no one knows what they say. And just like that, sealed up forever. But it's beautiful, and you see it, and you're captivated by it, and you want to know what it says. So now it brings you even further. So now you've got the intrigue where now you're curious. It's almost a puzzle. You're wondering what it is or why, and that's the feeling. I want to bring people in and make them ask why or what or how and elevate the entire process. Paintings on canvas are amazing. Paintings on the doors are amazing. But to do something, like I think of like cave art, someone goes in and makes this whole thing about their life in a cave somewhere deep in the middle of Europe. And then 3,000, 5,000 years later, we find this cave. Someone was there doing that. It's like it always existed. That's object permanence. It doesn't, it's always been there. You just now are noticing it. And that's where I want my art to be. I want my art to be so powerful that even though you don't know what it is, it exists.